Hello, my friend. Hopefully you are doing great. So in this tutorial, I'm going to share you about ArrayList in Java. So sorry for the background noise around if you hear any background noise. Okay, so hopefully you can still hear my voice clearly. So ArrayList. So let's go to Oracle documentation. So in every single tutorial, I always suggest you to go to Oracle documentation. And if you have time, you read through to have more knowledge about that. Okay, so you can search around Google, and then there may have other articles around and some plastic. But you know the original documentation it should be here, and it should be how can we call it, something like um, a single source of truth. So that means where we can come back and check to validate whether they write somewhere else is correct or not. So this is from Oracle Java, so you can trust it. So a single source of truth. Okay. So let's take a look around what's the ArrayList. So if you are beginner, especially in Java, so you may have a lot of confusion. What's the letter E here? What's the extend? What's the implement? Something like that. But don't worry, you will get familiar when you learn about what the objects, what the inheritance, what the interface, something like that in next tutorial. So in the meantime, let me explain for you a little enough for you to understand in this tutorial. Okay. So the ArrayList is a class that inherits from abstract list here, and it implements the interface list, random access, clonable, and serializable. Okay, here. So you just to remember one thing. It implements from list in the meantime for this tutorial. Okay, so that's very important for you to remember how to declare an array list. So the second thing that you can say that it is resizable array implementation. So that means it's not like array, one dimension array before that you already knew. This is something like, because in the array you have a fixed length. So in this case, an array list is something resizable array. So it's more flexibility for us to contain the data inside. Okay. So just go back to slide here. So we have several ways to declare an array list. So you can see we will start with the list here, the interface name where array list implemented. So list, and inside this one we have the type of the array list. So we can have the type integer or string, and pay attention, it will not accept the primitive type, it will just accept only the wrapper class. So we have integers here, not ints like before. And this is the name, and the new keyword to create a new array list here, and push the data type here, the wrapper class. So for string, we have something like this. And for the method tree, here we can use an array, and then we will use the method as list. So the methods at list will help us from the arrays here. It will help us to transform a normal array to a list, to an array list. Okay, so we will try to show demonstration how to declare an array list first, and then we will try to explore basic or operation with array list. So we will use them a lot in our application, and something like automation test, or many places, because it's very flexible compared to array. Okay. So come back here, you create a new package with the name lesson 8 and create a new class with the name array list learning. Okay. So let's declare a main method first inside, and then I will put the content inside for me. Actually for us at navigation, because maybe I will forget some main important points, so that's why I have to leave holes here. So how to declare? So the first way that you declare, you remember, list and the name. So it's come from list. Here you can see from list from java.util you enter. And then you open this one, something like less than or greater than, and you put in the middle. That should be the data type. And in this case, it should be the private class. Okay, so I want to declare something like integer as ArrayList, and I will call it as my number list here equal new keyword. Okay, array list. So you see ArrayList come from java.util again. So you enter, and we can put a size here, but we don't need to do that because ArrayList is resizable. So you don't need to input anything inside here. So you input in between the less than and greater than size here, you input something like integer. So the same here. So if you put something like string here, you will face an error. So because you want to create an integer array list here and you put here string, it's not correct, right? So it doesn't make any sense. So I will declare another list with string like my string list here equal new arrays list. New arrays list, and I will put a string here. Okay, and I will have a float array. So I want a float. I will declare as float num array equal, and I will put value inside like 1.1f, 2.2f, and 3.3f. And then after that, I will transform this float number array to an array list. So I will declare list, and it should be float from private class here, not like this. Okay, not like this. Okay, you will face something like an error. It's not like this. This will be not acceptable. So we have a float here. Enter, and with the name float number list equal array. So you call arrays with the s here. You remember the s here. Okay, so arrays will come from Java util, and you put as list, and then you input the float number array here. So this will, let me see what's the error here, as list float. Okay, so this should be float. Okay, sorry for that. So we have a float here at private class data type here, and then you will use as list here. So what's inside as list? So inside the as list, it will return a new array list here. You see a new array list. Sorry for that. My daughter just keep playing around. Đi ra đi. Bà. Just a moment, okay? Đi ra đi, bà. Chuột, please.
Happy birthday, Daddy.
Okay, thank you, okay? Okay, thank you. Just go out for a little, okay? Okay, thank you. Close the door, okay? Thank you. Okay, close the door.
Now you lock the door.
Okay, I will close the door. Sorry for that. Hopefully, it's not kind of annoying. So let's come back to the tutorial. So the asList method here will return a new array list. So like with this here. So that means we can use an array, and then we can use the arrays here. We call the utility method asList, and we transform an array to an array list. So basically, we have three methods. I did mean that we only have three methods. Okay, so in the common ways, we have three methods to declare an array list. Okay, so let's try to explore around how to add or how to insert the list element from an array list. So let me do something like, okay, so let me try to use a SQL random here from Java to add some random integer to my number list here, okay? So let's use the SQL random from Java security here. This is new for you, but I just want to use a utility to put some random numbers into my arrays list, okay? So SQL random equal new SQL random here. So you will get familiar with something like this when you learn about the object, class, constructor, something like that. But I think you can use this one right now because it's not very new, right? So you already get familiar with the new keyword somewhere. So in this case, you use SQL random, and what I do, I will look. Let me close it. Let me look around for 10, okay, for 10 times. So integer I equals 0, I less than 10, and I will increase I plus plus. Then what I do, I will use my num list here, and I want to add. So if you want to add something to the array list, so you have index here. We will say about index later, but now you use this method, okay, add, and then you call the SQL random, and you call the method net integer for you, and then you put inside. Okay, so that means after 10 times I will get 10 randomly integer value into this array list. Okay, so this is the way you try to add an element into an array. So how to print out like iterating array list? So we have two ways, a traditional for loop, and we can use for each loop. I will demonstrate for you power of those way. Okay, so the first way we will use for, and in this case integer I again equal 0, and as long as I is less than the my num list dot size. Okay, so we have a new method size to check the how many element in the array list. Okay, so then I will decrease I plus plus here, and what I do, I will print out sort enter like my num list dot get. You see the get method, so you add add method here to add some new element into the array list, and you use the get method here to get the the element value, and in this case you need to input the index. So the index will come from 0 to the array list size minus 1, just like an array. Okay, so we have the my should be something like get index I, so it should come from 0, and as long as it's now less than the size, so it will print out. So try to run and you will see the result. So you see, I print out the element value from my list here. They are randomly number integer, and you see they just randomly. So how to add? You already know how to add here. Where is it? Here. How to add, how to check array list size, how to get an element value. Okay, so now I want to introduce for you how to insert a new element in a very specific index. Okay, so let's do something like my num list. I want to add here. So you see, we use add here, but only one parameter to add a new element at the end of the list. But now I want to insert. So I want to insert in the position 1. So you see the position 1 is now this number, right? I want to insert at the position 1 with a new number, that number 100 here, right? And I it best this number 100 and then continue with this number if I run this program again. Okay, so run again, you will see here 100 here, but this time you see the numbers in array list will be changed. Why? Because we use the circle random, we get the net integer value. So every time I run it, it will get a new randomly integer number. But the thing here is in the index 1, we already successfully inserted the new value here. Okay, so this is the way how we insert, how we iterating an array list. So what is the second way? The second way should be something like we use the for each loop. So how can we do that? So I put a for here and I put a body inside. But now I will declare an integer I in my number list here. So you see the difference here. So I will print out that element. So we don't have any index here, but I will specify something like an integer I in my num list, and I want to iterate over my num list here. So let's print out I. It's more simpler, right? More simpler. And then you run, you will see the result. So you see, they are the same. They are the same. So you see, so we have two ways to iterate an array list. We can have something like this one, but I don't want to share with you about this right now. Like you see, I can use the lambda expression here, and I can print out something like value here, but I don't want to tell you about lambda expression. We will have the lesson about lambda expression, and we will come back for this for it later. Okay, I don't want to tell about this right now. Okay, so test size is empty. Okay, let's see how is we test is it empty or not. So let's say, so I will put something like is my num list empty, and then I will compile with my num list dot is. You can use is empty here, and it will return, you see, a pooling value true or false. Okay, and I want to check for let's see my string list. Okay, because I didn't do anything for my string list, so technically it will be empty here. So I run again. And you see, is my num list empty? Is it false? Because I already have element inside, but my num list is not my num list, just my string list. Just a minor mistake here. Is it empty? Yeah, it's true because we didn't add any element in the string list. Okay, so we know how to add, how to insert, how to iterate an array list in PostgreSQL here. So how can we change a value from the array list? So for example, let me delete this one because we already covered it. Okay, so how can we change it? So we change it by, for example, we will have some my num list dot something like get 0. We cannot reassign something like 13 here, so you cannot reassign something like that. So how can we change a value from the array list? So let me try how to explain for you. So you still remember the ways we change a value in arrays, right? So we can train it by something like we use the index and then we reassign that value. But now in ArrayList, you can use something like yes, something like this, and then you reassign, because this method will return for you will return for you a value from the array list, so you cannot reassign something like that. So if you want to do that, you will do something like my numList dot and it's not the place. We can you remove the simple way that you can remove. For example, I will remove something at the index 0, and then after that I will use my numList dot add at the index 0 with the new value is now 10. So that means you already change the value from the list, you remove it and then you add it. So it will be simpler for you in this case, okay? So if you run again and try to print out the value here, you will see we will have the 10 at the index 0. Here, you see, we have a 10 here. So before removing, it was this number, okay? So after we remove and then we add, that means we are trying to change this value at this index, so you can try to remove and then you add. That means you insert the new value at this position. So you have just changed the value from a specific index. So try to practice with this word, okay? So we already knew how to declare an array list by 3 ways: how to add an element to an array list, how to check the size, how to check is it empty, how to remove, how to change an element from array list, right? Remove and then we change. So we can combine the knowledge here. But they are not all the methods from ArrayList. So as I just said this you at the very beginning of this tutorial, you need to come back here in the array code documentation, and if you have time you can play around here, okay? So you can play around here. So for example, you can play with something, let me see, replace all or how to set. That means this is the way we replace an element at the specified position. So that means we don't need to use the remove and then we add. That means ArrayList provides for another method here to replace a value from a specific location. But in this case, I want to show you how to remove an element and then we add. So if you do the same thing, the same result, you use the set methods here, okay? So you try to explore something like this, okay, from the documentation here. And you know, the best way for you to learn anything is not in Java, but in any programming that you hands-on and you do something. So for this course, you just need to understand the basic thing. And then in the second course about automation test, I will tell you more the real case, and then you will have the opportunity to work with all those data types, okay? So try to keep practicing and see you from the next tutorial.